This is not a drill. Nintendo is changing forever in the next like week or so, bro. This is going to be insane. I am incredibly excited for it. So this is just kind of gonna be me yapping about the Switch 2 while playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because that's just how you do. Hey, my chat got picked. But this is also gonna kind of double as a predictions video, because everything I say here is going to be before the Switch 2 Direct. So let's just talk about how Nintendo's gonna change, because the whole theory that I've been kind of having ever since they announced this console is how Nintendo's quality seems to go down after they release a brand new big console, because it went from the Wii, which is like their best-selling home console to that point, to the Wii U, which was literally like I think it sold 12% of what the Wii sold. So big failure. Then the Switch comes in, best-selling console ever for Nintendo. And then the Switch 2, we will see. We will have to see. So I am kind of worried about what Nintendo is going to do here. I'm hoping, you know what, guys, this Switch 2 Direct that they are going to do is so crucial. They need to show some incredible stuff off, because if you don't remember, during the Switch's launch year, the OG Switch's launch year, they had a new 3D Mario. They had Breath of the Wild. They had Mario Kart, even though it was a port. I mean, look at the game I'm playing right now. Literally, they had game after game after game, some of which I'm not even talking about right now. They showed off so much in that January presentation, and bro, this is going to be the Switch 2's big presentation, except they're just doing it with the branding of Nintendo Direct, just because it makes sense. But you have no idea how important it is for Nintendo to really show something special here. So with my predictions, I don't have a bingo card, because I honestly, again, this is like my prediction video from the original, or the Switch Direct from last week, which I just don't have any. I don't have any, like, I don't know. I don't have anything with certainty. It could go either way. And I feel like my prediction is that if Nintendo doesn't have a good showing in this Switch 2 Direct, then I don't see how this console will be successful for the first little bit. And it would be a huge blow. Because if the Switch 2 doesn't do well, then, I mean, it's really hit or miss with businesses like this. Because if a product doesn't do well, they might go the Sega route, which is just, you know, doing third-party stuff, all that other stuff. Hey, we got 4th place. But either way, man, Nintendo needs to come up big. So obviously they're going to talk about Mario Kart 9. That is a given. They brought it up in the frickin' reveal trailer. It is a slam dunk. That is probably coming out. If I had to make a prediction, I'm saying that's a launch title. I think that's the Switch 2's Breath of the Wild right there, where it's just the big system seller that they gotta have on day one. It's been 10 years since we've had a new Mario Kart with a new engine. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, still 7 years. And plus the Booster Course Pass has been done for a couple years now. I think a year. I don't remember when the last thing came out. But it's been done for a while now. It is time for a new Mario Kart. And I'm guaranteeing it's going to be talked about at length this coming Wednesday. And I do believe it will be coming out in... I do believe it'll be coming out simultaneously with the Switch 2 as a launch title. Now, as other things, it's been 7 years since Odyssey. I think 8, it's been 7. It's been 7 years since Mario Odyssey came out. It's time. It is so time for another 3D Mario. Now, I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know when it's going to come out. I feel like if Tomodachi Life is coming out in 2026, then I guarantee that Odyssey 2 or whatever, the next 3D Mario game, probably going to follow suit. So the big game this year, probably going to be Mario Kart 9. I predict it's going to be called Mario Kart 10, because Nintendo probably counts Tour as Mario Kart 9. Who knows? Either way, we could also see a return to just, you know, normal titles like what Super Circuit had and all that, rather than just going by a number. Or who knows? But right now, we have no idea what the other games could be. Now, one thing that was actually kind of breaking today is Nintendo is officially using the C in the C button, like the button that they announced in the original reveal trailer, is now confirmed. Like, it is the actual C button. If you look at Nintendo's promotion images, even on their app with Nintendo Today, their video has the C button completely visible. It is completely marked. It is no longer just a blank button. So that is interesting. If I had to make a prediction for that, I've been saying this ever since this thing was leaked, is I hope it's a streaming button that will allow you to stream to YouTube, something like that. But if in all honesty, I think I can already read the comments, bro. I'm assuming that y'all are probably going to say, why don't they just use the capture button for that? And that is a completely fair argument. I just feel like it's Nintendo, and that's just kind of how they operate. But, that's just kind of how they do things, bro, is they just kind of have two buttons for something that's completely unrelated. They did get rid of the, IR sensor camera on the right-hand Joy-Con. To my knowledge, I do believe that is gone, which makes sense because it wasn't even used. Even, like, I think the biggest use for it was, like, Labo or something like that, which is really nothing, honestly. It's nothing worth having, because it just makes the Joy-Cons more expensive. Now, on the topic of controllers, I do predict that they will have backwards compatibility. It makes no sense. I know the Switch Joy-Cons will not be able to attach to the actual screen, but you should still be able to connect them to the Switch. Same thing with the Pro controllers. I'm gonna frickin' cry if the Pro controllers do not connect to the new Switch. I'm going to lose it because I've got 3 of them officially licensed ones. Officially licensed Pro controllers. They better connect to the frickin' console. I swear to God, if they don't, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. But either way, I'm trying to think of other things that I just want to get out there. Y'all need to understand the importance of the Switch 2 Direct. It needs to be big. It needs to be something that we are excited for. And, oh yeah, price. I think it's going to be about $500 Canadian or $400 USD. I am Canadian, so that's why I go by that price. Which I think that's pretty standard. I feel like if it costed the same as a normal Switch, then they probably wouldn't be putting too much into it, which sucks. I want the console to be expensive, more expensive than the base Switch for that reason. It could even be more expensive. But again, like we learned with like the PlayStation 3, you can't launch with a price that is too high because it's going to kill your chances of success in the short term, at least. In the short term of the Switch's release. Speaking of release date, I'm going to guess, I think it's been leaked for June. Pre-orders April 9th, I think is what I also heard. I would be very happy if it was a summer release, but I think I don't know if I should make my official prediction be like September, November. I'm not going to make a prediction on that, but I would not be surprised if the Switch 2 launched later in the year, just so Nintendo has more time to kind of gauge what the play tests are going to be like, see if they need to make any revisions or anything like that. I don't know how far along they are when it comes to it. It is coming out this year. That is one thing they did confirm, but we need to know how... we need to know the timeline, and honestly, if Nintendo wants to play safe, they should probably launch it a little later, because they did only announce this thing in January. It's only been 2 months, so, I mean, 2.5 months by the time the presentation happens, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was a holiday, or maybe something like November, where like the Xbox and the PlayStations usually launch. I would not be surprised if Nintendo went for a later like holiday launch, especially with Mario Kart. That would be a great holiday game. So who even knows? Who actually knows at this point? But I mean, as for content, I would love for it to come out earlier because I'm getting it regardless. I'm a freaking Nintendo YouTuber. Of course I'm getting it as soon as possible. Pre-orders should launch right after the presentation or very soon after, like not exactly after, obviously, but if they were launching right after, we would have many, many, many more leaks. But honestly, I wouldn't be too upset if they launched in June or May or something like that. I think May might be a little too quick. It isn't like a 3D All-Stars situation where it launches like a week after the presentation. So we will have to see. But yeah, my prediction probably, if Nintendo wants to be safe, they're going to go a little later in the year. But if they want to just kind of get it out and get some software in, then I'd imagine they probably go for a June release. It really, it is really up in the air. I don't even know what they could do. Honestly, it's so... One thing you know is you cannot predict Nintendo. They are very, very hard to predict. And the people with insider information haven't really talked too much about price. So, who even knows? Who actually even knows what leaks are true, what leaks aren't? I didn't believe the Switch Direct when there were leaks about a Direct happening last week. I didn't believe them. I called them stupid because it just makes no sense why Nintendo hosts a Direct. Host a Direct a week before their big Switch 2 presentation. But I was wrong on that. So who even knows? We're gonna do one more race. But all I know, very important that Nintendo shows a bunch of games, a bunch of high quality content to put on their platform, a bunch of third-party studios, all of that. They need to do that because if they don't, Switch 2 is just going to be viewed as as an add-on to the original Switch, which they cannot have, bro. They cannot have. And that was what worried me a little tiny bit early on when they called it the Switch 2. It made me think, oh, is this going to be a Wii U situation? I think having 2 instead of like Switch Plus or something is probably the better move because it does hopefully tell the average consumer that the Switch 2 is a brand new console. But Nintendo's job for the Switch 2 Direct is to prove that it's worth buying as soon as they release it. And I really, really, really strongly hope that Nintendo does that, because if they don't, it's going to be a big L. It's going to be a massive L, probably the likes we haven't seen since the Wii U era, which I don't think anybody wants another Wii U era. But, yeah, I am incredibly excited, to be completely honest with you. This is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. The last thing I wanted to kind of touch on was the mouse capabilities of the Switch 2, because obviously we saw the Joy-Cons rolling around as like mice. Could that mean that we're gonna get like more PC-esque games? I don't know. I'm kind of stunned that that is actually another thing. It could end up as like another IR sensor situation where it's barely used, but I'm really hoping like the Joy-Cons are not going to be super expensive because of this technology. Like any like stupid technology like that, I really hope that Nintendo kind of makes it so it's not super expensive. I'm gonna guess that the Joy-Cons probably gonna cost still $100 each, because they did take out the camera and put in a like IR sensor. We'll have to see on that. But another thing is, again, the Joy-Con like compatibility. I do believe that all Switch controllers will be compatible, as Nintendo did talk about the kind of state of it, and showed that it's not going to be, you're not going to be putting them down, you're not going to have to attach them from the side. So that's going to be a very interesting way to go about things. The gold points, by the way, I was trying to buy a game on the eShop, and you can't use gold, you can't redeem gold points. Actually, you can't get gold points on the Switch now, which is very interesting. When making digital purchases, you can no longer get those digital points, which is very interesting. Another thing, Nintendo is probably going to support the original Switch, especially into 2026, and we know that now because of the Tomodachi Life announcement at the end of the Switch Direct. It might be sort of like a 3DS Switch situation where they kind of supported both consoles for a bit before kind of slowly phasing out the the 3DS. So we will have to see on that front. I would guess that they're probably going to stop in 2026. Tomodachi Life kind of seems like a bittersweet game to end the Switch's life at that point, because I mean, people have been asking for it ever since the console was announced, bro. So I would be very surprised if Nintendo started making new original games for that. Metroid Prime 4, I have no idea what they're gonna do for that, man. I have no idea if they're gonna launch it on the OG Switch and the Switch 2, because again, Switch games are compatible with Switch 2. Who even knows, bro? I got cooked in this race, frick. But there's so many moving parts, but the main thing that I have to tell you is that if Nintendo doesn't come out guns a-blazing and show off everything that they've been working on for the Switch 2 over the past however many years, it's gonna be raps. It's gonna be bad for Nintendo, and it'll be bad for us consumers, man. It's gonna be an L. We want Nintendo to do well, even though sometimes they make stupid decisions. But that's all the rambling I got. I just hope Nintendo does W things and doesn't get cooked But yeah, if you guys want to watch my live reaction to the Switch 2 Direct, make sure you visit the link in the description to set a reminder for my live stream. And yeah, if you have any predictions, leave them in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.